Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core 4 Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast. I hope you guys are having a great day. Evan is out enjoying the sunshine, and let's get this show on the road. If you're listening to this, guys, it is Wednesday, May 8th. And before we get going, like we do with every podcast, if you guys could take just 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds, there's a subscribe button either on YouTube, on Spotify, on iTunes, whatever your platform of choice to either watch us or listen to us to. And if you subscribe, guys, you'll get notified right away when a new one of these drops, and it helps bump us up the charts. So if you could do us a small favor of just pressing that little button, it will be greatly appreciated. We can keep cranking these out for you guys. And also share the show with somebody if you know there's somebody out there that needs help. Now,
yes, please.
Today, we're going to talk about riding a very, very thin line. And when people start exercising, when they start working out, a lot of people have the misconception that they need to go 100 miles an hour sprint from the day they start till the day that they end. And maybe you guys have tried this before, and what generally happens is, number one, you injure yourself because you go way too intense, way too quick, or you kind of burn yourself out where you're like, I'm exhausted, my body's exhausted, just completely burning the candle at one end, and I need a break, but if I take a break, I'm going to feel guilty. So today we're going to talk about the importance of giving yourself a breather when you need it, if you need it, and how to kind of call your bluff on if you're BSing yourself or if you truly do need a break. So, that being said, guys, starting this off, it depends on where you are when you start first and foremost. There's 100 ways to train. There's 100 ways to exercise, right? And if you haven't done anything in, let's say, 5 to 10 years, and you think on a Monday, you can just go a million miles an hour, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're probably going to make it 3 or 4 weeks, not to like rain on your parade, but eventually you're going to go, oh my God, I went way too intense, way too quick. My muscles are killing me. My legs are killing me. My arms hurt. I don't want to do this anymore. In the same breath, if you're somebody that's worked out frequently and your body's used to it, you might be able to pull a routine like that off. We've touched on it before, but the way your body gets stronger, guys, is through actually rest and recovery. You can beat it up in the gym all you want, but if you're not giving it time to actually repair itself and get stronger, those results are going to come slower and slower and slower. So you want to give your body a chance to rebuild your muscles. Now, for a lot of us, we kind of wing these rest days where we go, okay, I worked out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I got some friends that are going out for drinks or I'm doing something, so I'm just not going to work out today. And then Thursday comes and maybe you ate like crap or you went out for drinks or you're up too late and you're like, I don't want to work out today. And all of a sudden those rest days don't become rest days anymore. They become just days that you're skipping. So what I recommend for people to know when it's time for a rest day, look at the week ahead, and just like you would schedule your workout in, schedule your rest day on top of that. Like, for instance, last weekend, I skated Saturday night. I went to hockey. I worked out Saturday morning. And then in between that, we did yard work. I cut the grass, weed whacked, edge, blew all the crap out, tried to fix our golf cart. I was just on my feet fixing stuff, doing stuff all day. So I knew Sunday, I'm still going to like stay active. We'll take the kids for a walk, but that's going to be a scheduled rest day because I was just hammering it on Saturday. So there's always some give and take with all this, guys. You don't want to go 100 miles an hour in one direction. And then you don't want to go 100 miles in the opposite direction and not do anything at all. So trying to strike that balance and being honest with yourself, know when you are just BSing yourself, and that's going to help you progress for days and days, weeks and weeks, and years to come.
Yeah, I think it all happens, it's all a mindset thing, like always. And we just need to, like study ourselves more or less, or whatever. I've been doing my life now for 31 years, and there's been a lot of things that have changed, but there's also been a lot of things that stay the same. I know the way that I react to certain things, right? So, um, what we see a lot at the gym are people who don't come in for a couple weeks or months. Maybe it's over the summer, maybe it's whatever, and then come back in and they try to get into it, and a week or two goes by and they're not where they were 3 months ago and they bail, right? That's kind of the most popular thing. They go, I just can't do this anymore. It's like, well, no, you're trying to just pick up right where you left off, and you need to understand that this is part of the negatives of just stopping your fitness routine, right? If you slow down in a different example, if instead of doing a 3 month ban, you went from 5 days a week down to just 3 days a week, you would be able to pick up where you left off because you would have been pretty consistent throughout that time. And yes, you've been working out less. Yes, things would have slowed down, yada, yada, yada. However, you still would have been okay. You still would have been maintaining a basis of health and fitness, which I think is kind of the big thing that gets lost in all of it. We think, oh, I need to lose weight. And then after you lose weight, I don't got to worry about losing weight. And then all of a sudden you look down at the scale and you go, oh, it's time to worry about losing weight again. So you start hitting the gym. And yeah, as we age, as things progress, as things change in our life, jumping back into a routine causes injury, causes things to happen. And then all of a sudden it becomes a 6 month setback because you're rehabbing a shoulder or whatever. You know, the faster we can just kind of find this consistency, and this is the point that you brought in, this is just my own tangent, the less time we need to spend worrying about this rest comeback thing, and the more time we have to kind of solidify and figure out when we really need to rest and when we are, as we put it, bullshitting ourselves, right? As we're going, it's July, the sun's out more, so I don't have to work out. That's literally the mindset that we hear. It's like, well, it's nice out, so I'm just gonna go for walks instead. It's like, that is not the same thing. I'm sorry. It's a good thing to do, but that doesn't mean you just are going to neglect your every other muscle that you don't use while walking just because the sun's out, you know? So
Yeah.
so as it becomes routine and as we can grasp and gather that mindset of this is something I need to do to take care of my body, the more obvious it kind of becomes. And I had this recently. I've had different kind of avenues of fitness. I was really competitive for a while. I was just running for a while. I was just trying to not gain a bunch of weight for a while. I've done fitness in all the different, not all of them, but in a lot of different. I was trying to lift real heavy for a while. So there's kind of different, realms of fitness. And the hardest one for me to maintain was just trying to not gain weight. That was the hardest mental grasp to, like, okay, I got to work out today because what's my reason? What's my motivating factor? Well, because if I don't, maybe I'm going to be getting, I'm going to start to not like the way that I look. That wasn't enough for me. When there was something that I was chasing, something finite, something I want to be able to bench press 225 pounds, never even got close, to be honest. 225 pounds. I was able to show up in the gym every day and kind of chase that carrot and go, okay. And the thing is, as I'm doing that and focused on those things, I'm also not gaining a bunch of weight. I'm also staying happy with the way that I look. So they all work together, but it's kind of taking the time to figure out what you are motivated by. And then after you get that grasp of what you're motivated by, rest days and when to rest, when not to rest, missing a week, going on vacation, it just becomes so normal and such a less of a burden. It's almost like we start to take on all of it at once rather than, well, let's just establish our goals first and our honest goals and not bullshit yourself going, I just want to lose 20 pounds again. It's like, no, 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 no. What do you want? What do you want to look like, feel like, be like? What do you want?
Yeah. And I think people begin to lose sight of that when, like, the seasons begin to change and when just your world begins to change depending on your schedule. And people go, okay, well, now I got to wake up. My work schedule shifted. that's fine. That's all kind of the ebbs and flows that happen over the course of the year. But Jocko Willink on his podcast had, this was years ago, had like a really, really good way to like mind check yourself. Where he goes, there's days that I wake up that maybe I didn't sleep well, or maybe I was tired, or I didn't eat well. And he goes, that day, he's like, everything inside of me is saying, don't work out today. Skip a workout, skip a workout. And he goes, what I do is I make myself work out and I tell myself, if you really, really want a rest day, you can have it tomorrow. But just
Yeah.
get through today. And when tomorrow comes, if it seems like you still need it, then you can take the rest day tomorrow. And so you do have this little carrot dangling that you're like, okay, I'll hit it today. And then maybe depending on how tomorrow goes, I can take a rest. And then tomorrow comes and he's like, all of a sudden you got some good sleep, you ate clean, you're back on track and you feel
Yep.
good. And you're like, oh, I didn't need a rest day. I was just, in a mood or having a moment.
Right.
And he goes, you can keep playing that game. And then the day might come where you're like, oh my gosh, I got sick. I sprained an ankle. I did something. There's no way that I can work out today. I'm under the weather or you're traveling or whatever it is. And those days are going to happen. And those are the true days where you might actually have to take a break or you can't get a workout like you scheduled. And he goes, let those days kind of fall in the cracks wherever they can. But he goes, a lot of the times we just get stuck in the moment and we get stuck in the right here, right now. And there's 1,000 other avenues that you can take to work around it. But you're just going on, well, right now at this moment, I don't think I can do this, so I'm going to stop. And he goes, that's the worst way you can look at it because you're just living in the now and not looking at months, years, decades down the line.
Yeah, it's the right, exactly. And like you can afford to miss a day for travel when you don't also miss it because you don't just feel like it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and especially like as I've grown up, had a kid, my life's gotten busier, you name it, all the different things that happen in life, get a house, try to move, like everything that happens, you just become busy. Everyone does. Everyone has different stuff going on. Um, but we need to rely on that busy time as our rest time. I was actually talking to my friend about a month ago, and I said, when are your rest days?" Because he's a big gym goer. He goes every morning at 4:30 in the morning, and he's like, "Oh, I just know that they're I don't I don't I don't plan them anymore." It's actually kind of contrary to what you said at the beginning. So sorry, bear with me. It'll all make sense at the end. He
Erase
go-
all of this.
No, 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 it's not. It's very it's so structured that it's not. Listen, I promise. Um, he goes, "Oh, I really don't plan my rest days because I know they're coming." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" For example, today his carbon monoxide alarm went off at 4:30 in the morning, so he didn't go to the gym. He had to call the fire department, wait outside with his little 6 month old or 8 month old and his wife, and wake up and get like shit happens, right?
Yeah.
But if he said, well, my rest day is Monday, and then that turns into Tuesday, I didn't do this, and now it's Wednesday, now I'm taking 2 days off, it's so much harder to get into that routine again. That's why Mondays in the gym are brutal, because most people take Sunday off, and it's like, well, you just took a rest day. Shouldn't you be feeling good? Why aren't you feeling good? Why do you feel better on Tuesday and Wednesday working out? Because you got the momentum going. So it's kind of like this double-edged sword of, and just like what Jocko was saying, and just like we were talking about earlier with fitting in routine, it's like you can add the scheduled rest day if it's your scheduled rest day, but that's not necessarily as simple as life goes. If you know that life is chaotic and shit is going to happen and you're going to have to fill your work schedule and not be able to do this and not be able to do that, you need to plan your rest days then. Okay, it doesn't have to be Saturday, Sunday. And he said at the end of that conversation, he goes, "Yeah, I know that I'm working out Saturdays and Sundays now because it's when I can. It's when my wife's home. It's when I'm home. I can just get away, go out for an hour to the gym or whatever he likes to do." And yeah, and now my rest days are like come throughout the week whenever shit hits the fan. So it's kind of a really good mindset. However, that only happens once you have a plan, right? If you don't have a plan, if you go, I got to work out just because I got to work out to stay healthy, it's like that's a great end goal picture, but that's hard to maintain picture. So give yourself a little challenge. Like this lady at the gym was just talking about how she's a big runner, and I asked her. I said, "Hey, have you been running lately?" She's like, "Yeah, but I'm really finding it hard to push myself. So I think I'm gonna sign up for the free press, the marathon in the fall." And she's like, "I did not plan on doing it, but I need something to train for." She's like, "Otherwise, the day comes to run." And I go, "If I don't run, I don't run.
I'll
If
do it
I do,
tomorrow.
yeah." But if you have something to train for, you go, "If I don't run, I'm not going to be able to do this end goal." And it's kind of, it's an important way to learn about yourself. It's an important hack to make the gym less dreadful. Give yourself something, um, always be learning, always new. And that's why gyms like we have and group fitness training and finding a workout buddy and somebody to hold you accountable so damn important, because if all of a sudden you're not just, oh, I'm gotta just look good, you're going, man, I want to be able to jump higher. I want to be able to run a good marathon. I want to be able to bench press 225. And it's like your focus is on that, and then you go and you train for that, and that's faster, right? Like, let's say, sorry, I know I'm hogging it right now. I'm going on a rant.
Oh, you're
Let's
good.
say let's say your goal is, I want to lose 25 pounds. So you go to the gym and then you come home and you get on the scale and you've lost nothing. And then you go to the gym and you come back and you look at the scale and you've lost nothing, right? It becomes demoralizing. And it's not even that it's so much like, oh, it must not be working, so I quit, although in some instances that does happen. It's just that there's no proof in the pudding. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks to finally go, okay. And so then it's hard on the daily to show up. But if your goal is, I want to get up and down off the floor, one day at the gym, you're just going to get up and down off the floor. And that's going to be enough, like, oh shit, I did it. This is working, right? Now I
Yeah.
want to step up on this tall of a box because I've never been able to do that before. So you work at it. And one day you're going to step up on that box. And it could be 2 days. You could get in and you can go, I want to deadlift my body weight. And you go and you just have never deadlifted before. And you deadlift once and you go, wow. All right, I think next week I set my goals too low, but it's still a cool achievement. And all of a sudden you do it and you go, wow, I did it. All of a sudden you're in. It's fun. You have these motivating factors. Um, and so that way, those I don't really feel like it days, rest days that are in the thing, are very fewer and far between. And you can go, I got to work out today because I know Thursday I have meetings all day, yada yada, and I'm not gonna be able to make it.
Yeah. I think, too, like you said, the importance of setting a schedule and kind of working backwards. So if you go, it's on the weekend, and I'm just using the weekend as a break time because that's usually when people take it. But if you go, I'm going to work out 5 days this week or 6 days this week, I'm going to do it on Monday, Tuesday, let's say Wednesday, Thursday, take a break, and Friday and Saturday. And then you kind of work backwards. Okay, what am I going to do? What time am I going to work out at? Rather than waking up and going like, I don't feel like it today, or I don't want to go, or what time is it? Or, oh my God, my kid got sick, so I can't exercise today. And then you end up working backwards. You're like, okay, well, Tuesday, maybe I have to work out extra hard now, and there's no consistency. You're just kind of taking it day by day by day by day, depending on how you feel, depending on what the day throws at you, depending on your mood,
Right.
depending on work, depending on traffic, and all these variables are just kind of shooting into your head as reasons why you can or can't work out. But the amazing thing is, somebody said this at one of our fitness conference years ago. They were like, if your boss called you and said you have an emergency meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock or 4:30, they go, you would do everything in your power to get to that meeting. And same thing with like exercising. If you know I got to be at this place at 4:30, it's a half hour or 45 minutes or whatever type of workout you're doing, taking it with the same severity and intention as this is like a can't miss appointment for me. I have to hit this. I promise this to myself. If I don't do it, my whole weekend's going to get blown up. So I have to make sure that I hit this time so I can stay on my schedule. And I think for a lot of people, it's the opposite. They base it kind of on a day by day, not with everybody, but that way it takes kind of the guessing approach out of it, where you're like, well, I planned on working out 5 days, but I only got in 2 because I had this, this, and this, and this. The good thing with our gyms is we got 7, 6, 8 workouts a day, depending on when you come. So there's a lot of options for you, but that way it kind of takes that guessing game out of it, of when you're going to work out, or if you're brain fried after staring at the computer, you're like, oh, I just need 20 minutes to myself, when you're like, no, I can go bang this out, be around other adults, and kind of keep the snowball rolling in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say with this is not all training days, workout days are going to be the same. Some days you just show up and you're tired and it takes you 15 minutes to get warmed up, and then the
You
workout's
go through the
over
motions, and
and you're like, that was not my best, but you did it, you know? And then the next day, if you need that rest day, or I bet you 9 times out of 10, the next day you wake up feeling all right because you kind of did like an active rest in a way. You didn't give it your all and fully commit and blah, 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 blah. And that's okay because you're still committed big picture, you know? And, and, every day we wake up different. It has a ton to do with everything. How we ate time before, what we worked out, how active we are, how hydrated we are. You wake up every single day with a different type of vibe. And it's just kind of just the nature of all of it. Sorry, I have a giant truck going so slow by me right now.
that's okay.
Like, what is he doing? It's very distracting. Oh, it's a tree company. Um, Lost my train of thought. Thanks, truck. The point of being able to just kind of make it your routine, like you said, and sometimes you're just going to hang out with the boys, figuratively, and just this is where everyone is. This is what I do. I want to go see the gym people. Yeah, I'll get into the workout. It's not going to be my best, but this is what I do. This is me. This is part of my thing, and that's if you really think about it, that is having that mindset of I'm not just doing this just for the superficial lose weight, look good. I'm doing this for a bigger purpose. I do this for my mental health because it's fun. I do this for the friendships. I do this for whatever. And then the best part is as you do this over and over and over and over and over, all of the stuff that you originally signed up for comes true. You do start to look different. You are more confident. You like the way you feel. You can do cooler shit. You can live, you can go to Disney World like you're a big Disney World guy. You could go and you could carry Ella on your shoulders the whole day. But if you didn't work out all the time, you could not do that. And those are just small little things that we don't think about. And it's almost too late before it's gone. I see people. I was at Meyer this weekend, and there was this woman. She was probably with her son, who's older than Rowan, probably like 5 or 6, and he was running out in front of her, and she could not keep up with him. She just couldn't do it. And it's just the thought. My original thought was that's just sad. That's just a bummer, and it's not like a guilt or a shame or a you should have blah 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 blah, shoulda woulda coulda, nothing like that. It's just the nature of the reality is, I bet she really wishes she could.
Yeah.
And it's not that she should feel bad about that. It's just that but before you know it, it's gone. It's
become like a prisoner in your own body, kind of.
Yes. And so now the reality is she needs to start really, really slow. And it's going to take years to undo everything. And to be honest, I have no idea what this lady's situation is. She got a huge medical thing going on. I have no idea. She seemed perfectly pleasant. It's not like she seemed miserable. She might not care. But, like you would feel, just me knowing you would, if you were walking around Disney for a few days and you were like, I can't keep up with Viv and Ella, you would feel pretty bad. That would not be the life that you ever envisioned would be you. And the truth is, it wouldn't even take much. It would have taken you 10 years ago to stop keeping your health and whatever a priority, and that's it. It's not. It's small when you think of it that way. It's alarming. Like it's just like having a job. If you get up and you're going to worry so much about how much money you're bringing in, how are you not going to get up and worry so much about what your body's doing? I mean, good
Yeah.
God, it's your body.
How do I feel? How's my mood? How's my energy?
Yeah.
I, like you said, chase my kids around? Can I keep
Yeah.
up with them? Do I want to take breaks every 5 minutes because, dad's exhausted or mom's exhausted? There was even using like hockey for an example, like Saturday night, I like checked in on the app. I think it was on Thursday or Friday, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go to hockey Saturday. And then by Saturday, after doing all the yard crap, working on the golf cart, I was like, it's 7 o'clock. I'd love to just take a shower, put my PJs on, watch a movie, and just relax. But I'm like, I checked in. I don't want to bail. I don't know how many people are going to be there. So went, skated, and then like we got to see, or I got to see all the old faces from like last summer, and they're like, oh my God, how have you been doing? And got to yuck it up with everybody, had fun, skated, hung out in the locker room after, catch up with everybody. And I was like, God, I'm so glad that I did this.
Yeah.
I forgot what this felt like after, where like you get to see people, you get to interact, you get to challenge yourself, you get to grow. And like fitness is the exact same way, where you kind of maybe don't want to do it at the moment. You don't want to, put your workout gear on at the moment, or put your shoes on, or go for the run, or go lift, or, go bang out a workout. But afterwards, kind of having that feeling of like you're proud for yourself for doing it,
Huge.
it gets addicting, where you're like, I
Huge.
want to feel that again. I want to feel that again. I want to feel that again. And if I can do this once and kind of shut my brain off for that little bit of time that says, no, you're going, just do it. You're like, wow, comparatively, at 7 o'clock version of me, and then the 9:30 version of me was like night and day. I get
It's
home, I'm in a better mood, go shower, watch a movie still. Um, it was fun. And I think people kind of lose sight of that. They just focus on the here and now rather
right.
than thinking of the after. The after. The after is what you're shooting for. The future self is what you're shooting for.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to bottle up that feeling and be like, and because you almost like forget it, you almost don't trust it. You go, I'll feel better after, and you almost go like, yeah, right. I'm not gonna do this. I'd feel better if I could just take a nap. It's like if you're gonna nap, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be just as tired. I know the feeling for sure. The way that my days scheduled now are, I want to nap every single day when I get this little break. Like when this is done, I get a nice little window to go back to the gym, and um, I want to nap every single time. And sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. And I feel the same. That's the honest truth. If I
Yeah.
could just know by 7 o'clock tonight, by 4:30 tonight, when I'm back at the gym, starting work again, having to get all motivated to do sessions, I'm gonna be tired whether I nap right now or whether I go to a workout or clean the house or blah 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 blah. I'm just gonna feel that way. So, you know, if we could bottle up just the mental relief and then just think about, but if I don't nap and I do work out, if I'm tired later, I'm at least gonna feel good about myself. I'm
Yeah.
at least gonna have some pride in myself and not feel like a slug or not feel like whatever everybody's mentally dealing with, which is just the reality. People are hard on themselves. We think horrible things about ourselves constantly. We're constantly like trying to beat ourselves down. It's the ego. It's just the way we're built. And it's just the reality. Yeah, you need to push that growth. You need to challenge yourself. We need it. It's not some people need it, some people don't. It's every single person needs a purpose, and that can be big or small, but you need to be doing something. You need a carrot in front of you, and when you don't, these bad things happen. Everything becomes harder. Working out is harder, going to work is harder, being a dad is harder, being a mom is harder. That it was Steve Harvey. I just saw this clip, this reel. He's like, if you wake up in the morning and your first thoughts are negative, you're losing. You already lost. And you can relate. I can relate. I admit it. That happens quite often. I wake up and my first thought is, fuck.
You got to
How-
like dig yourself out of the hole.
Yeah, how is it 4:15 in the morning already? I feel like I just went to bed. I didn't sleep enough. How am I going to go to the gym, turn the music up loud, be nice to everybody? How am I going to do this? That's my thought often. And the small different things of gratitude and changing, and like, if you can wake up and even if you feel that way, go, hey, I'm awake. We're good. I'm waking up in my bed. Everything's okay. I'm tired, but I'm alive. Whatever is going to be the thing for you, it's truly life changing. And then small stuff like doing the workout doesn't seem that bad. And doing the workout when it's hard doesn't seem that bad. And you're going to be less inclined to do it more and more and more and more. It's like practicing a skill, just like anything else. And it gets neglected on us. We don't think about it because we kind of become, trapped, enslaved to our routines. It's just like go to work, be a parent, be a spouse, be a thing, blah, blah, blah. Check my list, bedtime. Wake up, go do my thing, blah, blah, thing, check my list, bedtime. It's like, well, this is actually what your life is. And so we need to find a way to live our life and not skip to retirement.
I always think of in the mornings. Do you ever see the SpongeBob meme where he's sitting on the side of the bed and he's like, well, let's get this bread, I guess. It's just him. He just woke up and he's putting on his pants and his eyes are bloodshot. It just says, well, let's get this bread, I guess.
That's right, baby. That's the mindset.
That's how it is. Well, let's get this bread.
If it's not me, someone's going to get it.
Someone's going to get it. Better be me.
It's going to be me. That's funny.
But hockey was fun. I am so freaking sore. I know, dude, nothing compares to that first skate back. When you can run, you can do burpees, you can do squats, but that first skate,
it kicks your ass.
After time off, just whoops your ass. Like my groin is sore, my hip flexors, my shoulder. Like it's a 90-minute skate. It was a lot, but
there's nothing like hockey shape, and it's such a little niche, right? Not everybody plays hockey, obviously. There's nothing like hockey shape because it's literally 90 seconds of just all out assault on everything. And then you sit down and stop.
Yeah.
And it's 90 seconds all out assault, and then you sit down and stop. And it's only 90 seconds because we're old loser guys, beer league guys, but it should be like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. But since we play it way slower than real athletes, we can do like 90. But it still feels that way. It's still like, oh my God.
Oh, I know.
I am dead. Yeah.
It's insane, though.
I'm anxious to get back. My Saturdays are tough, though.
The first 10 minutes, when you don't skate for a while and everything just seems foreign.
Yeah.
You can't really find your edges on your skates. You're fumbling the puck. And I'm like, I feel like this is my first time playing hockey. And then you get a sweat going, you get warm, and you're like, okay, now it's all starting to sink in again.
Yeah. You can
the first few minutes, I was like, oh God, this is going to be ugly. But
you can kind of stop thinking about it and just go play. That's what I noticed for me. Like when I have a bad game, quote unquote, when I don't feel good, it always comes down to an hour later if I'm reflecting on it, thinking about it. It's like I was just thinking too much. I just got in my head early. Maybe something happened. Maybe the first shift I did something, and all of a sudden the whole rest of the game I was thinking, don't mess up, don't do this, make sure you catch this pass, make sure you make sure you make this pass, make sure you shoot me. And that once that happens, you're not effective anymore. That's always
it's like that Zach Gallo, the Hangover meme when he's coming down the elevator and all the math equations, you see the puck coming towards you. Yeah. And you're like, I can take it up, I can bank it off the boards, I can put it between his legs, and then it just goes under your stick. And you're like, well, yeah, that's what I get for trying to think 95 steps ahead.
Yep.
Well, that's it, peoples. I have to run and pick up our daughter from school.
Mine just got home.
So what else? Supplements. Should you guys need anything to help with whatever your goals are, whether it's a marathon, whether it's lifting weights, head to core4supplements.com. We
Yeah.
got collagen peptides, unflavored, which is great because you can put it in anything. We have people that just dump it in their coffee in the morning. Get a big, huge dose of protein. It's great for your skin. It's great for your hair. Great for your nails. And like I said, you can put it with anything and not even taste it. And it dissolves really, really clean. But we have whey protein, vegan protein, sleep gummies, energy gummies. We got vitamins. We got pre-workouts. Pretty much you name it, we carry it. Head to core4supplements.com. And if you are listening or watching this podcast, if you use the code word podcast at the checkout where it says coupon, you will save 10% off of everything. A man's coming up.
He's coming. Come on, buddy.
And if you spend over $100, you get free shipping on everything.
That's
Show
right.
that boy.
Let's get some balloons.
Come on. Well,
Nope,
that's
no
all,
balloons.
peoples.
Come here.
Have a great day.
Come here.
Behave yourselves. Have a wonderful month of May.
I got one right here.
And
Come look.
we will see you soon.
I don't know if he's gonna make it. There it is.
No balloons today.
Say hi.
Come here, baby Rowan.
Who's that?
Hello.
Balloon.
Hello.
Balloon.
Hello. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.